are, how many there are, but also helps them to understand addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In Stay in a Line, children will see how 12 children can be grouped in different ways. The activities and games in this section give children ways to become adequate with the number 12 inside and out. While this section focuses just on the number 12, if your child is ready, expand in other numbers. Working with physical materials helps make abstract mathematics ideas concrete. So collect 12 pennies and have them ready for your child to use. Seeing how to take apart a number and put it together in different ways helps children develop understanding. Be open to your child's interests and have fun exploring math. Marilyn Burns. You'll find tips and suggestions for guiding the activities wherever you see the box like this. Hunting for 12. Anytime you have 12 of something, you have a dozen. A full carton, Karina. What are you doing? Why are you trying to stand on the computer? You want to go in your exerciser? You want to go in your exerciser? Exerciser? You want to go in it? Is that what you want? You wanted to go in it before, but I wouldn't let you in because you weren't dressed yet. You want to go in it? You want to go in the exerciser? Anytime you have 12 of something, you have a dozen. A full carton of 12 eggs is 12. 12 cans of soda makes 12. Do you want to go in the exerciser or do you want to stay up for Mama? There. Good, beautiful baby. "12 eggs is 12. 12 cans of soda makes 12. There were 12 children going to the zoo. Counting things in your house. For each, guess first if you think there are exactly 12. More than 12 or less than 12. Then find out. This activity gives children experience with estimating and verifying quantities. If your child is interested, suggest other objects to count as well. Also, if the word dozen is new for your child, this activity will help reinforce its meaning. Are there a dozen chairs in your house? How many forks? Exactly 12, more than 12, or less than 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 6, 8, 9, there are 12. I don't know 12. How about glasses in the cupboard? Are there more or less than a dozen windows? What about your socks? If you had exactly 1 dozen socks, how many pairs would that make? That's only 6 pairs of socks. You think that's enough socks for one small child? 6 pairs? I don't think so. What about, are there a dozen letters in your name, more or less? What if you count your first and last name? Are there more or less than a dozen people with the same last name as you in the phone book? Do you have more or less than a dozen channels on your television? What can you find exactly 12 of? 2 by 2. At the beginning of the story, the children set off for the zoo in 6 pairs. Take 12 pennies and pretend each one of them is a child. Use the pennies to show how the children lined up in twos. Are there 6 pairs? Can you count the pennies by twos? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Arranging pennies helps your child to visually imagine the different ways 12 can be grouped. Out the door in fours. When the children marched out the door, 3 rows of children marched out in fours. Use the pennies to show how the children marched. Can you count the pennies in fours? Try it. 4, 8, 12. Count them some other way to be sure there are 12. Your child can count them by ones, twos, or some other way. Any way that makes sense is fine. On the bus in threes. Next, the children got on the bus and sat in threes. Arrange the 12 pennies into threes, just like the children sat on the bus. How many seats did the children fill? Can you count the pennies by threes? Try it. 3, 6, 9, 12. Count them some other way to be sure there are 12. Show the other ways. Arrange the pennies to show the other ways the dozen children stayed together. They went through the gate in lines of 4 and 8. They skipped through the hen house in single file. They looked for the chicks in 2 rows of 6. They lined up in a row of 12 in 2s and 3s. Why don't you like story time by Levy? It's almost time for your baby can read again, and it's time for bed. Alright, let me see. Peek-a-boo boo, peek-a-boo boo, I see you, I see you. Peek-a-peek-a-boo boo, peek-a-peek-a-boo boo, I see you. Peek-a-boo. Sweat again? I guess not. Peek-a-boo, boo, peek-a-boo, boo, I see you. Are you ready for bed? Want me to rock you to sleep? Take a nap? Baby, what are you doing? Don't pull in your hair. Hey, Karina, gentle. Gentle. Hey, Karina. You're gonna hurt yourself. Why do you hurt yourself like that? Get over here. Don't hurt yourself, babe. Karina, honey. I don't know where she learns that. like Karina on the treetops. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bell breaks, the cradle will fall. And down will come Karina. The bell, the cradle and all. What's this one? I'm glad I'm me. Poems about you. I'm glad I'm me. Alright. It's already 8:32 at night.